Welcome back to Maker's Journey Workshop. I'm Benjamin Davies, and this is the final day of our 30 for 30. 30 videos in 30 days. We're dumping 4 on you today. May 3rd, 2025, which means we start on April 3rd. And today, we're going to get to one of our best members of our community, Emery. Emery asked for some sheet metal projects. He's got a bunch of sheet metal sitting around in his shop and wanted some ideas what to do with it. And then also, we had another comment, and I can't remember what video it was, but they were curious about that machine back there in the corner. So Maker's Journey Workshop's about showing you how to build up to those machines and work. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a little teaser, and it's going to tie into today's project. So let's check that out. So that's pretty cool. And here's some of the projects we kind of, the final products we make on there. And this isn't to show you, because I'm not here to advertise my pieces to you. I'm here to show you how to work. And they're just little bezels, little votive candle holders, but they're made out of 1/4-inch steel. And that's going to be hard to do by hand. Not impossible. I've done it, but it's not fun. And I don't think it's sustainable. So a creative workaround is some sheet metal blanks. And I've got these. I've got a CNC plasma cutter, so it's easy to cut these out. You can cut these out a square, round off your corners, whatever. But these by themselves, if we just put a little divot in them for a candle or make a vessel out of them, going to be kind of boring. So how do we spruce that up? How do we make this just not plain metal? Because you start to forge it, it's so thin, it's going to go away pretty quick anyways. Not really going to see a whole lot of texture in it, although you could texture this cold. What I like to do when I'm texturing something this thin cold is I heat it up first. I got the sneezes. It's pollen season here. Boy, howdy. All right, so I'll heat it up and then I'll let it cool off. I'm not annealing, like in the sense of the way you'd anneal a blade, but it is some sort of thermocycling, and it softens the metal and it receives texture better cold. Make sure you're wearing your glasses. That scale's going to pop and go everywhere. But there's another thing I like to do, and it's kind of fun, and it's free form, and it lends itself well a lot like our organic forgings when we're doing leaves and branches and things like that. So let's get into it. Oh, side note, have you a bunch of blanks like this ready when you go. I mean, if you could have 5 to 10 just to play with and experiment, and that way you can pivot from one to the next as you see a step you might have done differently, going to be a huge help and allow you to be creative. Expect to make some scraps and add to the scrap pile that day. This is what learning looks like. It looks like a bunch of failures until you get something right. All right, let's go. All right, so for this first step, we're going to need a special tool, and I'll talk a little bit about the heat treatment on it, and you'll need your vise. And that tool is going to be a piece of Schedule 40, and the heat treatment was whatever heat they used to make it. And yeah, that's all you're going to need. This is a piece of 1-inch Schedule 40, which means it's probably about 1 1/4 to maybe 1 1/2 even. You can go 1-inch bar, you can go smaller. And the thing that I like about it is it's going to protrude out both sides, and so I can tap on it from both sides to use my vise, kind of like a swage block. Oh man, you said things cooling quick already. All right. All right, so we made a taco, and that's how you make a taco. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in today, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm just kidding. That's just the start. But you could stop there, and there's some cool possibilities. Like if you need some taco stands at home, maybe figure out a way to put a little rivet through there and a little piece of solid underneath, maybe one here going perpendicular, little taco stands. I mean, that's a cool little product idea. You know, I'm keeping that one for myself. You can't have it. Don't do it, okay? Stop. 100 of us can make these, and all 100 would sell. Go make them. They're kind of cool. I like that idea off the cuff. I might actually experiment with that. That seems kind of fun. Simple, easy, small sell, and pay the bills, baby. All right, so we're actually going to try to make it look like an eyeball, which is kind of crazy to think. And I might actually stick this back out on the anvil and bump it because I've got one side that's higher than the other. But if not, oh well. Free form, just going to be fun. And you'll get the idea how sheet metal moves a little bit. So let's go back in the fire and see if we can close this guy up. As we close it up, we want to leave a little bit of gap right here, and that gap will make sense here in just a minute. Stand behind the desk so you get the good shot. Just trying to center that thing up. We're a little offside. Get down there. Oh, baby. Nice. Cool. See, fun little. Now we got a fun little, you know, hill sculpture. You'll see a lot of people cutting out mountains, and there's your hill sculpture. All right, so we're going to need to open that back up. And so you'll need a tool for the next part. And if you don't have the tool or don't know how to make this tool, you can probably pick it up in your town. It's a complicated tool, but here's what they look like. Yeah. Where I come from, they call that a flathead screwdriver. You don't have to go crazy. This guy will eventually open himself up, just taking your time, walking the line, going back and forth, and you can take it over to the anvil and open it up on the edge of the anvil, and that's what we're going to do. All right, let's get to it. Oh, nice. For my next act, we'll need ball peen hammer, bob punch, and we're going to use a swage block. If you don't have a swage block at home, drill out a hole in a stump and burn it with the round end of a fat piece of metal that's going to fit that. Be the can-do person. It's really easy workarounds. There's a lot of people that stumps are actually pretty cool, and you get a lot of use out of them. You kind of figure out what you need. That swage block that I have back there, I like. It's pretty cool, and I thought it would be a huge game changer for me when I bought it out. When I bought it about year 2 or 3 in the forging, but I mainly only use it for dishing. I don't really need all those other grooves that are on the side. They're handy, but you can actually just make those yourself in the shop. Ah! Ha 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 ha! All right, take a look. That's sneaking cool. You're darn right. You're darn right. Gotta have that WNC. You're darn right. I'm gonna clean that up and make that an Illuminati sign on my thumbnail. You're crazy if you think otherwise. Anyways, just starting out of a piece of sheet metal. I mean, there's so much you can do with it. Use your torch, whatever. If you want like a master class to see someone who's really good at sheet metal, there's a guy out there named Douglas Pryor. I don't know Douglas from Adam, but I've seen some of his work. It's brilliant. Make sure you bring tons of patience with you. That type of work is equivalent to grinding for me. It's tedious. It seems painstakingly slow, but there's no argument that the outcome is brilliant. So go give that guy a check. Real quick, just in case you've been watching, keep it along, I've been reading each and every one of your comments. Thank you so much. It's pretty exciting to see all the positive contributions in the comments. I've not had 2 seconds to sit down and write. once we get done with this 30 for 30 challenge, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna write in depth. I don't like to do a little one word thanks, appreciate it. I like to give you as much value in the comments as possible. If you don't believe me, go back and check some of the stuff I've written out so far.